All right, Kenman here, and today I have been inspired by my man Ed Durbin. Edyards. We're gonna do a lanyard today. Have you ever wanted to make one? Do you know how to do it? Would you like to see a start, a base? Come along for the ride with me. I've done a couple tests. I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't have anything in front of me to help. We're gonna wing it. We're gonna see if I can do one. Let's go. Okay. Um, yeah. So here's a couple examples. These are some that I got from Ed. He sent me a few. I've been enjoying them on the smaller fifth pocket knives just because they are smaller. My larger hand can kind of grip on there. It's nice to have them. They feel good. Got that little mini pyrite. Get that extra grip on there. You can do that extra work, but still have that just a little more control with it on there. I've been having some fun with them, like I said. Put them on all my smaller knives. This Civivi Baby Banter is one that I use a lot. It's got a nice choke up spot, and for a smaller knife, this thing packs a punch. I mean, it's little, but when you can get that choke up, and then I've got that extra grip with that lanyard on there, I've just been happy with it. I've even tried them on some of the larger knives. Here's a Kaiser Lieb. I enjoy the action on this one. It's great. And I just figured I had one of the bigger ones that Ed gave me, and I put it on there, just been test driving it, and I haven't taken it off since. It's nice. It's not really necessary on this one, but like I said, you know, in order to know if you like something or not, you really kind of have to give it a test. And so I have been, and here we are. I'm going to make one start to finish right here, right now. I ordered some paracord. This is just standard paracord. I think about that long, maybe double my hand length is a very technical answer for the length that I'm going for right now with this. It's not a very big one. This is a smaller knife. Okay, so paracord does fray. You can see this kind of fraying up, but if you hit it with a lighter, and then you can take something, kind of dab that end. You can do it with your hand. You kind of pinch it, but sometimes if it's hot, you want to be careful. You don't want to burn yourself, but it will continue to kind of slowly fray out on you if you don't do that. And so it's kind of nice to do it and just get a nice looking little tip to work with here. Okay, so now we have our piece. We're getting somewhere. So I grabbed about 2 feet. I'm guessing my hand is a little more than 11. So doubled over, this is about a 2-foot piece. Okay, so now I am, of course, missing everything that I want. We need to get this through this little hole right here. And I think the first section's not going to be a problem, but the second side might. I had some tools around here, of course. I don't right now. Let's see if I can get this to feed in through there quick. There we go. Got it. Nice. Okay. So, comment below who's done this before. Let me know some patterns and some things that we can use. I know there's a lot of different knot styles, multiple colors. This is basically literally about as basic as it gets. I got a couple batteries I use for camping and stuff. I'm just going to use those to kind of pinch that and hold it in place. Maybe bring it up just a little bit so that we can see what we're doing here. So I've got it about even, right? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to make this shape like that. Like I said, there's many ways to do this. This is just one of the knots that you can do. So you make a loop like that, okay? Then you take this other side and you go underneath and then right through this spot right here. And then we're going to pull her tight. And that is our first knot. Basically, in this case, we are really going to be repeating that over and over again. So I'm going to make sure we got this right how we want it. Got a little bit of movement, little play, but we got her tight in there. I'm going to pinch this back down. You don't have to pinch it in, but it just makes it a little easier. I can kind of move this around and it doesn't flip over and stuff. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're literally going to repeat that exact thing that I just did. So we've got that shape. Go back underneath there again and tie it through. And we're going to bring that up nice and tight. And you can make these tighter or looser. I think it holds better if you have it a little snug. All right, we got that one in. And we're going to repeat. Go back around and underneath like that. Under here. Through there again. And you can see that I do that one wrong. It's pulling. Sometimes if you pull funny. Okay, so boom, boom, right here. Get it under there and then through there. I just had a twist in it that was kind of weird. All right, now we're back in business. Okay. And like I said, you're just basically going to repeat this pattern until we run out of paracord. And you can see how this kind of snake-like knot. I'm going to zoom in now a little bit here. Oh, maybe out. All right, and we want to make sure they're all about the same tightness. Tightness? Sure. Make it nice and uniform looking. Who enjoys this? If so, hit the like button. Subscribe if you would like to see more. Would you like me to try some other knots? Do some demos on some other patterns, multicolors, or something different? Let me know. I'd be willing to try it out. I am still not completely sold on the lanyards, but like I said, these smaller knives, I don't plan on removing it from this. I like it on here, and I use this knife a lot. So for me personally, what I've learned so far is that they work great for the smaller fifth pocket knives. And I use my fifth pocket knives quite a bit. I actually often will use my fifth pocket knives more than I use my actual knives. And that might be partially because sometimes the larger knife I have is more of a showy knife or a fancier knife that I don't want to damage, or if someone needs something cut or whatever, I might not want to use that knife, but I'll generally almost always use my fifth pocket knives. So it just becomes one of those ones where I'm kind of carrying the fifth pocket knife as more of a user, and then the larger knife is more of a display, kind of in a way. All right, I'm running out of space here, making it a little bit tougher to get that pattern. But we're almost, I think we can do one more. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knots. Maybe we'll just leave it at 7. I like 7. It's a good number. It's better than 8. All right, so let's zoom out here, get my batteries out of the way, and see how we did. So you can kind of go back in there and kind of pull on them and kind of bend it around and kind of tweak it, tighten it up, cinch it up. I like this color. It's a good mix with this. Just a little bit of orange in there to pop with the orange. Then those other color accents. I may cut these a little bit shorter. You could cut them all the way down if you want, or I could maybe try to tie a couple more in there. But I think that 7 is a long enough chunk that I don't think I want to make it any bigger. What do we think? What's everyone's opinion on the lanyards? Kind of has a nice little snake, kind of coily kind of a look to it. It's a real simple pattern. Like I said, there's some. This one, it looks like the middle was the same, but then he did these kind of more Celtic kind of ball knots on the end. So there's a lot of different styles you can do. You can put that bead on there just to give it a little more flair. Or like I said, you can cut them real short on the end and have it just be more of a rounded edge. I kind of like the tails hanging off of it. I want to kind of carry it around a little bit, see what I think as far as if I do want it to be a little bit longer or shorter, and just kind of feel it out. That's one of the nice things when you make them. You can make that, and if you don't like it, we could untie this, back it up, tighten them up a little bit more, or change it, or just remove it completely and put it on a different knife if you don't like the style. I did buy several of these little, 10-foot pieces of paracord, but I think it was like 20 different colors of 10-foot pieces for all of $10 or something like that. So it's pretty cheap to get yourself going. Get yourself a knife that you want to use. You don't have to tie it on like this. Like this one is permanently tied on there. You'd have to either untie it or cut it to remove it, versus some of them like this, it's just made with a large loop. So you can kind of undo that loop and slide this right out of there. But the thing with that too is now you have that knot doubled over. So it does take up a little more space right there. And because it's larger and you have to send 2 pieces of paracord through the hole, and if it's a smaller space, like this one here has a pretty tiny hole, this one piece barely fit, so you might struggle getting a double piece to get through on some of them. So tying it directly on might be the way to go in some cases. So here's our finished product. Does it match? What do we feel about it? Like I said, give me some comments, give me some inspiration. Tell me some knots that you've seen that you'd like to have me try. I've done a few other ones in the past. I did make this keychain, made this larger ball knot. So I've messed around with it a little bit. Looking forward to try some more in the future. So I thought I'd just make this little video quick, kind of showcase one of them, and try to see if I get some inspiration out of all of you. If you want to see some other custom videos, check one of them out up there. All right, stay sharp. We'll see you soon.